Hello, everybody. This is Sree from BizBuzz, What Matters the Most in Your Business, sponsored by My Work Belt. My Work Belt is a all-in-one software, particularly supporting and serving small businesses. Check us out. And today we have the guest, Leonard, Mr. Leonard. Joseph Lenard is spelled Lenard. Don't be confused with it.
Right. It looks French. It's not Lenard, and it's Joseph M. Leonard without the O, because there is a Joseph Lenard out of South Carolina, and I have to, if I just put the same name on the books, then it'll be too confusing.
So Joseph is a author of multiple books, and they are internationally published. And one of the books that he published that caught my attention is How to Write a Book and Get It Published, Tips and Techniques. Now, why did I do that? I wanted to bring that knowledge to the small business community. And if a small business owner who has a lot of content and expertise, there are a lot of small business owners. They are experts and they have done services for years and years, and yet they can't share their knowledge. Now, if they would write a book and share their knowledge with the rest of the community, that will become incredibly credible for themselves and for their business. Now, by taking the knowledge, tips, and techniques from Mr. Leonard will help small business owners to get it published on their own. We all have a challenge that we can't write, although we have a lot of information in our brain and in our head. And secondly, we have a phobia. Oh, I don't know how to publish it as well. So, Joseph, how are you doing today?
Oh, like I say in my Terror Strikes Coming Soon to a City Near You book, could be better, could be worse, right? Before I complain too much, I remind myself a whole lot of other people have it worse than I do. And thank you for having me on BizBuzz as opposed to Barbershop Buzz. I don't need a buzz. People in the video could see that's due to cancer. I'm not a neo-Nazi skinhead. The hair came out and I decided, hell, I'm going to save tons of money on shampoo and conditioner by keeping it shaved. And I do. I save a ton on shampoo and conditioner.
That's funny.
And indeed, how to write a book and get it published, hints, tips, and techniques. There's a ton of books. How to put your book on Amazon. Well, you could read the Amazon help files for free for that. That don't help you at all. No. But after Terror Strikes Coming Soon to a City Near You book came out and I was on shows, they invariably say, come back and just talk about the writing and publishing process.
Right.
So, light bulb, right? There's a market for a book that takes you from concept to writing, to what are your realistic publishing options, and then marketing and promotion after you're done. An all-encompassing book, either fiction or nonfiction.
So, Leonard, for a small business owner like me, for many of the people, they wanted to write a book. Where do you suggest we should start writing a book? What would be the starting point?
Your starting point is, of course, what is your concept? What are you looking to share, right? Mm-hmm. The overall broad concept. And then either digitally doing your outline or, as I hint in the book, 3x5 cards, idea, bullet points of what your chapters might be, points you want to cover. And then on a 3x5 cards, you can shuffle that. How you initially envisioned your book layout may not be the end version. You shuffle things about. Oh, this order seems more logical than my initial order I thought I would do. And if you're in the business of widgets, then obviously, likely you're going to talk about either manufacturing or selling or all the above, everything to do with widgets, like how to write how to write a book and get your I can't even say the title of my own book. How to write a book and get it published, hints, tips, and techniques, all encompassing of writing and publishing as opposed to narrow focus. It depends what you think you need to write about,
You need to write.
narrow focus or broader focus. There's a niche audience for everything. And then, of course, marketing and promotion. Once you're written and published, you're not done. Books don't go viral normally overnight on their own. You got to market and promote.
That's true.
So
That's true.
whether it be about widgets or cooking or whatever, it then, lends you credibility, additional credibility as to that source matter.
Now, Leonard, Mr. Leonard, see, the lot of people, they can write the book or anything, but there is a lot of confusion about it. Oh, you need to have a foreword written. Oh, you need to have somebody do the what do you call testimonial that you can put it on slapped on the back of the book and all those things.
Those are called.
Would you go through all that? What would be the important
praise pages? Yeah. Now, forward. And also, I talk about in how to write a book and get it published, hints, tips, techniques,
right.
Potentially an afterward. There's no law requiring those. You can do those if you want and can get someone to do it. It's great. Or in how to write a book and get it published, hints, tips, and techniques, there's a praise for the book section rather than a forward and an afterward, where I've got like a dozen or so different people said this about me and the book and my books, right?
Yeah.
So those are sections as opposed to chapters, which are about your subject matter, dealing direct with your audience. No law says those have to be there. They're good to have, but it all depends on you and your book. And I go into that, this benefit as opposed to that benefit. And ultimately, at the end of the day, you don't have to have any of that if you don't want. Because that takes time, right? I've got to ask Smith and John Doe and Jane Q. Public, will you write this for me? And oh yeah, but weeks later you still don't have it, right? So
right. No, it takes a lot of time, energy, but more importantly, it creates a hurdle in the process of being able to write the book. Now, you go somebody and, hey, can you write a foreword on my book? It doesn't mean that they're going to write it tomorrow. They're going to take their own sweet time. They wanted to read your book before they write something.
So, you need to give a deadline.
Exactly. Well, you can, but you can't twist their arms to make it in a deadline.
You can't hold a gun to their head and force them to write it, or you're going to land up with something you don't want in your book.
You don't want to have it in there, right? So it is very comforting to know that you don't have to have a forward and all those sections. Those are optional.
Right.
But I'm so glad you are emphasizing the content of the book is important.
Yeah. But that's where an afterword can come in, right?
Yeah.
Ask 3 people to write a forward. Yeah. And if 2 of 3 actually deliver you something, you've got a forward and an afterward. And there's no law to how many afterwards you can have. In one of my books, I have a forward and 2 afterwards. Right? So these things, again, and that's the issue of if you self-publish, you've got more flexibility. Correct. You don't have to adhere to person A who's been in publishing for 50 years and is, old and set in their ways.
Right.
Let's say, right? It's like, oh, well, you've got to have this. No, there's no law written into the copyright law that demands you have this, that, the other thing. It's your book. make your book be your book.
That's
That's
right.
like
So,
terror strikes coming soon to a city near you. I went through what I call assisted publishing, right?
uh-huh,
There's
uh-huh.
self, where you do it all. There's assisted self-help
Publishing.
publishers, which do very little. And then there's what I call assisted publishers, who are comprised of people from the publishing, came from a HarperCollins or whatever. But
Mm.
those big publishing houses have their stable of writers. They're not really looking for a whole lot
Adding
of
a
new
new author.
writers.
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah. I get it. I get it. So, if somebody writes a book, let's say I pulled together myself, I went through the whole writing of my dozen chapters, and now I got them all printed on the paper in my laser jet printer in my house, right? What do I do next?
Well, again, yeah, that goes to what realistically are your publishing options. Did you happen to see the movie with Daisy Edgar Jones where the crawdads sing?
No,
Now, great movie. It's a throwback kind of old To Kill
uh-huh.
a Mockingbird. It's like the old black and white days of
I see.
storytelling. It's a very good movie. And
I'll be watching that.
in that movie, she does illustrations.
Hmm.
So, you know, in the 50s and 60s, indeed, you would have to take all your illustrations, have them in your own manuscript, and send them to a couple dozen publishers, hoping one of them will say, "Oh, we like them.
Yes,
We will publish for you." Today, anyone can digitally put them up at
on their
Amazon
own.
or Barnes and Noble or Books A Million or Ingram Sparks more traditionally, where
I see.
most books are actually published, and then it's carried everywhere. So I'm not saying don't send to a traditional publisher, but only your chances of getting published are only if you've got a trilogy.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm going to be doing the next Harry Potter
yeah,
type
yeah, yeah,
thing.
yeah,
I've
yeah,
got book 1 and book 2 done. Book 3 is not written yet, but here's 1 and 2.
yeah,
Will
yeah.
you publish? Right? If you're doing a trilogy, they have a better chance of
I see.
selling you and willing to take a chance on you. Otherwise, a single book, like a
Mm,
business book, your better option is assisted publishing or entirely self-publishing
I
yourself. So yeah, in my publishing chapter, I go into what are the options,
options. Yeah,
what is most realistic for you.
gotcha, gotcha. No, that's great, great. So let's say now I published it, and then what? You
Yeah,
suggested that you are
sit
actually going
back,
and speaking.
relax, and yeah, sit back, relax, and wait for the dough to roll in. Wrong,
No, right.
wrong. If you think this is a get rich quick scheme, don't bother. Now,
Yes,
some people do make tons of money,
yeah,
but most, hundreds of books come out a week.
yes,
You know, you there's no guarantee. There is a guarantee there's an audience for whatever your book is,
correct.
but you've got to make that niche audience
You
aware
know,
it's there.
you have written a
Marketing
book.
and promotion. Social media obviously is free
Hmm.
advertising to
Yes,
promote your book, to try to make sure as many of the people who are interested in reading about widgets
yeah, yeah,
understand your book about widgets is
yeah, yeah.
available, because it isn't going to fall into their lap magically through
Magically, yes.
osmosis.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Mr. Leonard, thank you very much for being on the show and sharing your knowledge and experience in helping small businesses on how to write the book and get it published.
Yeah.
And
Now,
I,
obviously, those are just a few hints,
there
tips,
are,
and techniques. you gotta buy the book, and
and
it's
read it.
available on Kindle. But I recommend, like my latest book, The Book of Kennedy, just came out August. More so, a Kindle of that,
Yeah,
as a fiction book is fine, but how to write a book and get it published, to me, you want the printed copy so
correct.
you can
You
write in
can
the
write in it,
margins, you
highlight
could
it.
put highlights, post-it notes in it, refer back to it often. A Kindle, hey, it might work for you, but the paper copy is much more realistic for this kind of a book.
Excellent. Thank you very much for those suggestions. And I greatly appreciate your time and energy being on the show. And certainly wish you good luck on your new book coming into the market.
Yeah,
Thank you.
and you're business centric,
Yes.
but from a personal standpoint too, it can be a personal growth thing to write your own book
Yes.
too.
Yes.
Or if you're not a business owner, you're a career person, writing a book about your career. It can be a fiction book
It can be a fiction.
about
Yes.
what you do for a living, but that helps lend your credibility to advance your career. So there's many reasons to write a book, not just as a business owner. As a
Absolutely.
business owner, it's marketing and promotion for you. Your book promotes your
Your business.
business promotes your book, right?
Correct.
There's a symbiotic relationship there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you very much for confirming that it's not just simply the business people, and even normal people can write a book and help to their career path.
Oh, hey, even abnormal people. Right? Hey, write a weird book. There's a market for that too if you're an abnormal person. Yeah. These are jokes, people. Just
Yes.
a little fun, right? Even
That's
in
correct.
terror strikes coming soon to a city near you, very serious subject matter. There's a comic relief chapter to make that point. Put humor in your book.
Put
It
humor in the
makes
book.
it makes you a more relatable author.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you very much, Joseph. If anybody wants to reach out, josephmleonard.info.
Yeah, and it's
And
again, it's not French, it's not Lenard, it's
L
Polish. It
N
was
A.
Leonard Waskowicki or something. I haven't dug far enough in the heritage woodpile to know what it originally was. Yeah, Leonard without an O. And there is a Joseph Lenard out of South Carolina. So Joseph M. Leonard to distinguish, since the spelling would be the same otherwise between the two of us.
Excellent. All the listeners, I hope you enjoyed this show and take some tips and be able to move on your own journey by writing the book and promoting your own business. Wish you good luck and see you next episode.
Take care.